Hey lads, my name is May and today we're going to be doing a self-portrait of myself. Basically my idea behind this was that every year from now on I would do my own self-portrait and we could see how it changes over the years. I just thought it was a pretty cool idea and an interesting way to capture how I see myself at different points in time. So anyway, first up I'm just doing a rough sketch of what I want my picture to look like. I did have a vague idea of what I wanted to do before I went into this. I'm also a complete pantser, so I kind of just made it up as I went along. As you can see, I'm kind of leaving out the forehead bit. This is mainly because I'm no good at drawing eyes, but it was also how I wanted to incorporate my main idea for the self-portrait. And now, as you can see, I'm only slightly rubbing away the pencil lines so I can still see them. Next up, I went and chose all the different colours that I wanted to put in my drawing. I tried to kind of pick the ones that I liked the most or I thought that represented me. And then I swatched all of them because you can probably tell the labels don't actually match the colours, which is a little bit frustrating, but I think that's pretty common as well. I got these pencils as a Christmas present. I'm pretty sure my mum got them from Aldi, I think. I've been really enjoying these pencils actually because I haven't had any coloured pencils for a while. You might have seen from my Instagram that I've been getting a lot of use out of them in the past 2 days. But yeah, I've been really enjoying them. Now, just a disclaimer, I'm not very good with technique and shading. I've never really done art at school, which doesn't really bother me because I only do it for fun. But yeah, just a warning, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm kind of just going by instinct when it comes to things like shading. Pretty much everything really. So yeah, just a heads up, I don't entirely know what I'm doing. So the first thing I started colouring was my dress t-shirt thing, mainly because that was the thing that I definitely knew what I was going to do with. As you can see, as far as my technique goes, it's just doing a block of the light colour and then improvising with the darker colour to try and make it look more realistic. Kind of. I don't think it really works. I don't know if you can see, but the way I shaded the collar makes it look like Zeus's W-neck shirt from Gravity Falls. It just doesn't look right. It looks like the blue is on top of the purple, whereas the purple should be on top of the blue. I just think that didn't really work out well. The next thing I was definitely sure on was my necklace. You guys might have seen it in a couple of videos. I'm not sure what stone it is. I've had some people ask me if it's jade. I'm not really entirely sure, so if you guys know, I'll pop a photo in. What stone is this? I have no idea. Next up, I did my skin and the shading around that. I didn't have a pencil that was white enough for me that wasn't bright yellow. I might have been able to mix some colours together to maybe achieve that, but I'm not really sure how to do that yet, so I kind of just went with the basic stuff that I knew, and I look a bit tanner in this portrait for that reason. Again, say it once, I'll say it again, shading, not my strongest point, but I tried and I think it turned out okay. I really want to work on my realism and I know it's not really there yet, and I know it wouldn't turn out very realistic, but as far as I'm concerned, the shading is average and it's okay. I'm proud. I'm proud. We're proud. She's proud. Also, if you've seen my work makeup and hot chocolate video, you know that when I put on blush, I really like to do it on my nose as well, which I recently found out was an e-girl thing, but I still like it. It's still cool. So yeah, I thought I would make my little self-portrait a little bit cuter and add blush not only to the cheeks, but also the tip of the nose. Now, in the past, when I've drawn myself, I've kind of struggled with the hair, and I think this is purely because my mum is a hairdresser and she has always told me that my hair is an ashy blonde, which it is, but in my little mind, I took the blonde word and just ran with it. And so since then, I've always had the instinct to draw my hair bright yellow, which it is not at all. It's just kind of this muddy, weird, yellowish mess that hasn't really made its mind up yet. So I kind of tried to stay true to my natural hair colour, even though my instincts told me otherwise, and I tried to do more of a darker brown colour, and I think it turned out okay. It kind of reminds me of Sid's little sister from Toy Story. And then the hard part began. Recently, you may have known I was very lucky enough to, was that grammar? Anyway, I was lucky enough to travel to Indonesia, and for most of the plane rides, I was so excited, I got the window seat. And just the view of the clouds was so beautiful, I can't even put it into words, and since then I've always just kind of wanted to draw it. I knew it wouldn't be up to the standard of the beauty that I saw out of that plane window, but still I wanted to capture that mesmerizing, I can't even describe it. So yeah, I thought I would take the phrase head in the clouds because I'm a very absent-minded person and I thought it'd be interesting to draw my head in some clouds. Well done, May. It kind of reminds me of Sir from A Series of Unfortunate Events in The Miserable Mill. In the Netflix series, it doesn't do this, but in the books, there are like pictures, and the gag is that you never see his face. It's always surrounded by like puffs of cigar smoke. I'm hoping this doesn't give off too many like stoner vape vibes. Is that the thing? Maybe it can be symbolic of the time this year where I brought brownies to a party and everyone kept looking at me weird, and I had to clarify they weren't special brownies. They had Smarties on them. They were normal brownies. Originally, I was going to do grey shading for the clouds, but then I looked at the purple shirt and I really like the lilac colour. It's one of my favourite colours in the entirety of existence. So I thought I would go for something a little bit different and shade with the purple. It didn't work as well as I wanted. As you can see, I start off with laying down the white first and then going over it in purple, and I think that looks slightly better than when I did the purple down first and then went over it with white, just because I didn't want to forget where I had done all the different swirls. I just think that my first technique looked a lot softer and more cloudier than the rest. The rest kind of came out very sharp, and I don't really like that. Eventually I figured out if I traced the paper with circles, if that makes sense, it kind of looks a lot more softer. So I ended up going with that, and that kind of softened it out, but it's still a lot harsher than I would have liked. At this point, it was looking a little bit gloomier than I would have liked, so I decided to add a bright sun coming out of my head, and there's a little bit of a story behind this, so hang tight. Basically, for the past like 2.5 years, I've been struggling with a little thing called derealization. I'm planning on going into it in many other videos to come, but in short, it's just this mental thing where I feel like I'm dreaming all the time. I feel like the people around me aren't real. I feel like I'm not real. It's basically just a coping mechanism, and it's been something that I've really struggled with this year, and it hasn't been that fun. So I wanted to use the clouds as symbolism for how cloudy my head has felt this past year. But despite all of the crap in my head, I've been getting a heck of a lot better. Sometimes I think I don't even process the amount of progress I'm making. So I decided to add a little bright sun coming out of the clouds because I am getting better. It is going to get better. I'm refusing to take no for an answer. It has been too long. And yeah, I just thought it was a nice positive touch to something that didn't mean the best thing in the first place. And as a finishing touch, I really enjoy adding white outlines to my drawings. I just think, especially with the brown paper, it makes it stand out a lot better. I do wish the white pencil was a bit stronger, especially in the clouds, but I think it looks alright nonetheless. In the end, I love this drawing. I think it really represents how I felt across the year. Like I said, my headspace hasn't been at its best, but it also isn't at its worst anymore. I'm getting better, and although I'm still in kind of a rut, I've got so many things to look forward to. I'm just so excited for the year to come. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you are interested in trying this out, I definitely recommend it. I'm a very nostalgic person, and I love going back and reading my old journals and seeing where my frame of mind was and how differently I write to now and how similarly I write to now and stuff like that. So I think this will just be another form of that. And that's also another motivation behind YouTube. It's like a time capsule in video. It's sick. Get on this bandwagon, guys. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you're having a lovely day, and Happy New Year if there isn't a new video up before then. See you in the next decade. I will see myself out, and I will see you in the next one.